All right, hello Kaizen League, welcome back. We have another match for you, and today it's a grand finals match. We're here with the T4 mixed division grand finals. It is Dream Eaters versus Hashira, and this is actually a rematch between these two teams, both these teams meeting in the upper semi-finals, and then it was Dream Eaters taking Hashira down the 4-0 victory. Hashira fighting back up from that lower bracket, looking for a little bit of revenge here. As we do have our first map, it is, of course, going to be Oasis, which is, the set map for this week. And these two teams just need a little bit more time to get ready. We have a little pause coming in, but that's okay, because that's going to give me time to tell you about these hero bans that have come through. Now, of course, the way that Kaizen works is that there are going to be 2 hero bans per team. And the bans coming out, we had Queen to start, so no Junker Queen. Then we had the Cassidy and the Brig ban coming in. And then we had the Venture ban from Hashira closing things out. So a couple of DPS off the table here. That Junker Queen gone as well. Interesting to see. Maybe, not necessarily expecting to see some of these heroes on Oasis. Junker Queen a little bit more favored towards kind of those flashpoint maps, even some push maps. But obviously, Dream Eaters felt that Hashira felt that the Junker Queen was going to be a bit of an issue for them. So potentially they saw that from Dream Eaters once before and taking that out first thing, trying to get the ball rolling right away. Hashira, trying to find a win against a team that already 4-0'd you, it's going to be a little bit tricky, but, got to use all the tools in your kit, including those hero bans. Right now, I can at least let you know what the teams are hovering on for University. We do have Oasis University as the first sub-map. Now, Hashira looking like they might be coming out with the Wuyang Midnight Mare on that hero. Minaru on the Kiriko as well, so Wuyang Kiriko, definitely a backline that's getting much, much more playtime now that this new hero has been released, and people are kind of seeing where he fits into the meta. Interestingly, for both of these teams, a Wrecking Ball has been hovered right now, which again, we are on University, so not a typical kind of ball map, or we usually kind of go towards the brawl instead. And looking like Dream Eater's gonna roll out on this double flex DPS, which is definitely getting a whole lot of playtime right now, especially paired with that Wrecking Ball as well. It's gonna be the Sim TPs coming out, both teams here, and then it is gonna be the Tracer Mirror. A little bit of difference here. Big slam there as Narcoma tries to knock off some of these members from this high ground. It's a brawl kind of happening on the point. Trick on this Reaper is going to be able to chunk down a lot of damage from Q. Okay, first blood though is going to go the way of Cheetos. Finding that boop kill onto Narcoma, and yeah, there's the next kill coming through. Good headshot there, and well, it is looking like Dream Eaters to pick up this first fight win and the first flip here. Percentage now building for them. Let's see, Hashira just regrouping. Now with this Wuyang, you want to be able to do quite a bit of poke damage kind of before you go in for that initiation. But with the mobility in the double flex DPS, it's going to be hard. Okay, Minaru finds that first kill onto Asuka. Trick very, very low though as well. Ooh. Synox actually will fall, but the point is being contested by Hashira here. Big dive onto Midnight. That Wuyang has a lot of mobility, but it's not going to be enough to get away from the Wrecking Ball and the Genji. And there, Midnight falling. I mean, the cap actually does still come through here for Hashira, but the numbers aren't there for them, as both DPS from the side of Dream Eater is going to pick up one apiece, and a little bit of stall here. Narcoma back on the Wrecking Ball, but oh my god, absolutely gets chunked down. So much focus fire onto that ball. And again, just a little bit more stagger here for Hashira. Gonna pick up about 19% there. But now point back over in the favor of Dream Eaters. And They have not only both DPS ults, they're gonna have both support ults to work with. The mines coming online for Q very soon as well. Looking good for Dream Eaters to hold this one. Hashira trying to take this high ground. Ooh, Trick kind of getting caught off on the side there. Wasn't with the rest of the team. And here's the blade coming in from Chinese. Okay. Finds the first one. Both supports now gone for Hashira. Yeah, just like that. It's going to be Dream Eaters finding that fight win. Just committing the one ultimate into it. You got 4 other ones to work with here. Midnight Mare has swapped over onto the Lucio, so I was getting poked out a lot on that Wu Yang against this Wrecking Ball and the Tracer Genji. All right, Pulse Bomb connects. It's a stick on to Cheetos. All right, Lucio gone and Beat gone. Here's the Kitsune Rush onto the point. Blossom doesn't quite find anything, but it does allow Narcoma to get some mines onto the point. Still, though, approaching 99% here for Dream Eaters. Hashira need to confirm some kills, and Cheetos is now back in the fight, has that late beat. And will allow a lot of aggression to come through here for Dream Eaters. Now, there are still mines on the point, but they faded now. Narcoma finding that kill on a Cheetos, basically just came into the point, beat it, and then sent back to the spawn. Pulse Bomb connects! Oh, Trick tries to go for the health back, but that is not going to help against that Pulse Bomb. Overtime dwindling, and now University going to up by Dream Eaters here. Felt like they were in control for a pretty significant amount of time here on University. But I like the adjustment to the composition here for Hashira. I think moving Midnight over onto the Lucio is going to allow you to just match the tempo that Dream Eaters was putting out a little bit better, because of course that Wu Yang has a whole lot of mobility and speed for himself. It's not going to translate onto your team. So basically it's just outspeed the opponent if you have the Lucio versus Wu Yang. So now we're getting this full mirror matchup as we head to Gardens. Definitely going to favor this composition even more. This double flex BS going to allow you to get control of kind of all of the flank angles with the Tracer, and then you are able to put some contest onto the verticality with the Genji. Minoru, the kunai, finding the head of Myro. And now it is looking pretty good here for Hashira to take control of this point, but Minoru actually kind of caught out a little bit there, maybe trying to find a second headshot. Is Asuka going to punish that? Now it's even numbers here, but Miro, of course, on that critical, back into this fight early. A little bit of a brawl happening, kind of trying to take control of this high ground. Narcoma falls low, and that is going to be able to take out the opposing Wrecking Ball. No tank on the side of Hashira now, and that means that you're going to just have a little bit less kind of direction here as the point does flip over, and that's Dream Eaters. Building percentage first once again here. It looked good there, the opening pick, right, going the way of Hashira, but they aren't really able to turn that into gain. Getting a little bit too aggressive, thinking they can take a little bit too much, and then the trade comes through. Engage here from Q. Nice thing about this double flex DPS for the Wrecking Ball is there is no CC here, just that boot from Midnight. Nice dive in coming through for Hashira. They want to take Cheetos out, but wow, the peel absolutely there, and oh, Dream Eaters just catch them in this rotation, punishing that aggression, finding a bunch more kills here, and a little bit of a late kill onto Narcoma. Not gonna get that wave spawn. Beautiful rotation there from Dream Eaters. Recognizing that Hashira's pushing a little bit too hard, used all their cooldowns to try and chase a Lucio. And that's when the Wrecking Ball comes in for the kill. Mine's ready to go here for Q. Hanging around. Waiting. Nice roll through. It's gonna be the dash kill from Chinese to start. Now already both DPS are just on for a Hashira. They have to back out of this fight. Dream Eater's not pushing too far. Good restraint here. You don't want to go all the way into the spawn because, of course, that would definitely be punished. We have Q hiding with these mines. Everybody walking past the Wrecking Ball, going towards this small hallway. And unfortunately for Hashira, they just get so split. But as Dueling Kitsune rushes on the point, gonna throw some mines in to try and cover up some of that ground. Come out for both sides, and now it's the Blade Chinese Dino trying to find something, trying to cut through the beat, and will manage to find that kill onto Midnight. Now Time for Trick to pull out the blade. Ooh, finds 1 kill onto Cheetos, but able to find anything else. Overtime ticking. Synox on this Tracer has the Pulse Bomb ready to go, but does not have any reinforcements whatsoever. Pulse Bomb out, is not going to connect. Narcoma now back on the Winston. Dancing in the bubble, trying to stay alive as long as possible, but all of it is just staggering in, and Dream Eaters are just doing such a good job focusing these targets down. That is going to be 100% to 0 here on Garden, as Dream Eaters are going to be the ones to take the first map in this series. Building some momentum here, looking really great on this Wrecking Ball composition. Chinese Dino with the play of the game on the Genji as well. All right, well, we'll see what Hashira is going to cook up for our second map, because they, of course, are going to have the opportunity to choose where we go to next. But we're going to throw it to a quick break while we get that in order and get the bans in order. But don't go anywhere. We will be back with map number 2 just after. Greetings!
Greetings!
I was doing the countdown to unmute, not the countdown for greetings.
Well, welcome back, Kaizen.
I mean, it worked either way.
Well, greetings for you. Shout out to Gigi. Thanks for the redeem on that one. Make sure you check out the fun channel points that we have here. Greetings. If you save up a lot, you can get a caster accent swap. Maybe save that one for another time. Yeah, that's really fun.
Do that one, I love it.
But we're back here with match, of course, of our Tier 4 Mixed Grand Finals. If you're just joining us, you missed the first map of Oasis going the way of Dream Eaters. Hashira with the map pick here for Hybrid have opted to take us over to Midtown. And the bands coming through here, well, it's a Wrecking Ball band to start things off. Reaper Freya as a response, and then Lucio to finish things off. So that Wrecking Ball definitely gave Hashira a lot of trouble here. So pivoting over to this now Sigma composition here. So a little bit of a poke comp coming out here. We're gonna have Trick over on the Cassidy. Midnight back over on this Wu Yang. So gonna have a little bit better of a time now, potentially, but falling very, very low. Is able to stay alive here. Doesn't have to worry about any speed kind of walking them down, as it is going to be the Yari Baptiste backline here. A lot of pressure, a lot of space already taken here by Q on this Orisa, and not a lot of cooldowns have been forced out here, so this is not looking good for Hashira, as there we go. Q just going to absolutely walk forward, and that's going to allow Dream Eaters to get themselves set up on the point here. Takes down the pylon from Myro, but it's going to be first blood going the way of Dream Eaters. Sinnock's gonna fall there, and it's one tick on the board here. Looking like a second one is gonna be collected by Dream Eaters. Okay, well, if they're thinking about it, there we go. Chinese Dino gonna find another kill here. Finding at Midnight, and now, well, that is pretty much just it here for the first point. We got a couple of members of Hashira lurking around, but you just don't have the pressure to be able to put on the point. Little over 5 minutes here. Pulse Bomb connects. Nice lamp, though. Minoru is going to be able to keep themselves alive there. Gonna go ahead and pull this window out early as well, but it's just the disengage that comes through here for Dream Eaters. This is going to allow Narcoma on this Sigma to push up to the corner, though. Getting kind of aggressive. Okay, aggressive. Deadeye. Trick, unfortunately, going to fall there. Didn't quite have the support that was really needed to carry through with that Deadeye, and now Asuka responding with his overclock, gonna slide up onto that high ground, finds that kill onto Minoru, and now Dream Eaters just absolutely taking control of this high ground. A little bit of a late kill onto the Tracer there as well, as Cheeto's gonna push this payload forward. Everybody else from Dream Eaters self set up. You have a really big combo coming up here. This Terror Surge plus the Sun from Myro could be very, very dangerous. Now, it's not necessarily a brawl composition on the side of Hashira, but everybody is going to be playing kind of in the vicinity of this Sigma, so a chance to get a nice Terra Surge. All right, it's going to be the Sun to start. Oh, meanwhile, though, Pulse Bomb connects onto 2 there. Sinnock's opening things up for Dream Eaters to take, or for Hashira to take a fight here. He's going to be taken down by Myro. Still alive up on this high ground, but isn't quite in a position to keep you alive. There we go, Hashira finding their footing here. Would love to get a late kill, but both Myro and Chinese Dino fairly safe, waiting for the regroup to come through here for Dream Eaters. They, of course, commit a couple of ultimates there, but you still got the Terror Surge to work with, and you're going to have this window from Cheetos as well. Tidal Blast available for Midnight Mare here. Not running the double flex DPS, so you might see it go over onto the Tracer, or potentially just use it as a defensive ultimate. Terror Surge is in. Oh, there is the lamp. It keeps Minoru alive for a little while, but not long enough. Tidal Blast did actually come through onto Trick there, but it was just the tank that could have potentially been knocked down, and now we have a a Flux on the high ground. Ooh, Contest coming through at the very, very last minute, but yeah, just one step more needed for Dream Eaters, and they're gonna pick up that second point. Inox getting chased down, not going to be able to get a little alive, and, you know, a little bit of a slowdown there on second point, but if you're Dream Eaters, you're still coming into this third point of Midtown with a whole lot of time in the bank. Overclock to work with very soon as well, as we are going to have a swap over on the tank side of Hashira. Narcoma going over on to this Zarya, trying to find an answer to this Orisa. It's been able to just kind of walk forward and take a whole lot of space away from that Sigma. ultimates here for Hashira to work with. Both those DPS ultimates, and Minoru has a window as well. All right, Spear connects on a Synox, and that's going to prompt the window to come out. Nice trade immediately there as Midnight has moved over on to the Zenyatta. This Discord Orb really going to hurt Dream Eaters if you can't back away and cleanse that. And nice job here from Hashira to hold this corner. Both those DPS ults still ready, but now Q has this shield perk. Pulse Bomb doesn't connect. Deadeye, ooh, actually gets stunned out of it. The Spear connecting, and Asuka now pushing in. Finds that kill on a Narcoma. The Zarya out of the fight means that everybody on the side of Hashira gonna have to be very, very safe. Not gonna have that bubble as a get out of jail free card, and we actually are going to have a pause that's requested here. So that was coming in from Narcoma on Hashira. Looks like we just had a late kill onto Trick as well. Unfortunately, for Hashira right now, you're in a position where if Dream Eaters just play this kind of aggressively, they're going to be able to find stagger kills and push this bot in essentially for free. It's rounding this like last corner now. And Hashira just has nothing to work with here. It's the Terra Surge in the Sun available for the side of Dream Eaters, and Chinese Dino has the Pulse Bomb. Cheetos is, of course, going to be able to build up to this window as well. So just a lot of ults coming online here for the side of Dream Eaters. And unfortunately, because of the swaps that had to be made for Hashira, you're just not there yet. You used both DPS ults in the one fight, and you didn't really find anything with it. It's going to take a long time for Narcoma to build up to this Grav. Right now, if you're Hashira, you're really just trying to play for Midnight's Transcendence, which, you know, it might be able to save you through this Terra Surge. But then there's 3 more ultimates that are going to come your way. So we'll have to see what these teams can get done here. Already we have Q kind of pushed up far on this Orisa. Again, has this Terra Surge ready to go. Gonna be looking for a choke point to kind of use it in. You gotta be careful. You want to get out the bubbles from this Zarya before you go with this. Have the shield to work with as well. But yeah, there's the Discord Orb. Really nice stuff there from Midnight, finding that Discord onto the tank. And that's going to allow a little bit of stabilization here. But Dream Eaters want to take this back. You know, you're traded out here. Sun connects, finds the kill onto Midnight, and gonna find Minoru. Myro just absolutely deleting the backline for the side of Hashira. Synox, the lone member alive. Trick does swap over the Genji, but isn't able to get the touch. About 2.5 minutes on the clock as Dream Eaters finish out Midtown. Looking very comfortable despite having the Wrecking Ball band out. And now this puts Hashira in a pretty difficult spot, right? You have to at least finish this map. And you want a chance at winning, you gotta finish with time. You can't go into overtime, otherwise you are looking at a draw. Which would not be fun to have here in the grand finals. Of course, you want to build a little bit of a lead, or at least tie things up if you're Hashira. Looks like we actually might get to see the Sigma composition make an appearance on the defense here for the side of Dream Eaters. Otherwise, no changes. They're still going to stick with this double flex support in the ER in the BAP, which I think is going to be even stronger, really, on the defense here. It's all about trying to get this poke damage in as the attacking team is going through the choke point, which I think Dream Eaters struggled with a little bit, had a hard time kind of holding their space and getting the damage out. And that was because they're playing kind of into this Orisa that's able to basically just walk forward through your poke damage, cycle through the cooldowns, and then everybody from Hashira just kind of ends up getting split. But Hashira is opting to start on this Zarya. Not expecting that the Sigma is going to be making an appearance, but they will know soon enough. I like Midnight sticking on the Zenyatta as well. Now, it is going to mean that you don't really have a super great way to kind of get through this choke point, which can be a little tricky. But if you can just kind of find this Discord Orb onto the tank, that's going to allow your team to kind of push forward, right? The tank's going to have to back up a little bit, cleanse that Discord. See, though, Hashira's just kind of hanging out in this choke point. You need to move past here. There we go. Going to be able to walk through. Little Tracer duel happening on the side as Oh, okay, there we go. First blood. Myro taking down Trick just as that Cassidy trying to rotate in, and Midnight took so much damage getting through as well. Is going to be able to take it down in the end by Chinese Dino there, and now it's just not looking good here for Hashira at all. Unfortunately, there we go. Everybody's going to kind of fall. Go back to the spawn. Regroup here. See, it wasn't bad from Hashira. It just needs to be a little bit quicker, unfortunately. The longer that they hang out in this choke point, the more poke damage is going to come through. And I mean, everybody on the side of 3 meters is going to be able to do a good chunk of damage to you, right? We see Chinese Dino kind of taking the flank angle, right? Trying to put some pressure onto Synox. But Asuka on the Sojourn, like everybody else is going to be able to do a lot of damage. We see Hashira regrouped, ready to go, but Synox gone. Okay, Nice does end up getting traded out here, and Q, okay, walked a little bit too far forward there. The Discord Orb immediately onto the Sigma. Now we have it. Hashira walking forward here, going to be able to claim some presence on the point. I'm going to get a couple of people on this at least. It seems like the Dream Eaters team staging for potentially a recontest here. You don't have Q in the fight just yet, but you do have the window ready to go, so whoever pushes on the point, you're going to be able to support them. There we go. Window is out. Transcendence immediately in response to that sun. Midnight has been burned by that one too many times. Pulse Bomb does connect onto the Sigma shield. It's 2 ticks on the board here for Hashira, and they get that first kill. Cheeto's taken down, but Synox does pay for it. However, just having the Baptiste out of the fight is really, really big, and now Asuka's actually going to pull out the overclock here. A sliver of HP on this Sojourn, does get the pylon as support though, and that's going to allow them to find that first kill, or that kill on to Midnight. Trick and Minoru, the 2 members alive here. Synox back in the fight as well. The Deadeye is good for Trick. Finds that kill onto Myro, and just plain old-fashioned kill on a Chinese Dino, and there we go. I mean, it looked like you might have been able to get a contest there, but not quite getting the toes on the point. It is going to be Hashira picking up first point. Going to get this payload moving. Looking a little dodgy there, but good read from them. And good movement. As soon as they get that first pick, they are rotating onto the point. Very nicely done. But hey, 3 meters gets to set themselves up on this high ground here. Trick going to support in that Tracer v Tracer duel. Finding that kill onto Chinese Dino. Member advantage here for Hashira, but Q wants to try and even this out, finds a 3-person Gravitic Flux. Full supports are dead, and that is just pushed over. Oh, for Hashira, that was so unfortunate. They had that first pick, but just recognizing the advantage needed to be changed, and Q finding that Flux and making it happen for their team. And now, here we go. I mean, Dream Eaters get to set themselves up. Once again, you're going to have this high ground control. We do have Hashira coming up on Gravitic Flux of their own to work with, and the Pulse Bomb. Taking so much damage here. Darkoma's trying to rotate onto this high ground, trying to put a bit of pressure onto Asuka and Cheetos. Oh, but it's just futile. You walk forward, and it's just all the damage in the world. And yeah, Dream Eater's gonna just flood forward, try to find some stagger kills. Okay! Gonna find the stagger kill onto Midnight, but Synox gonna making them pay for it. However, Chinese Dino on this Tracer gonna be able to get back into the fight pretty quickly. For Dream Eaters, it's really just about burning time off the clock now. Get yourself set up, and they're doing such a good job of this. After every fight, they are rotating back to these kind of positions where they're gonna have the advantage, preparing for the next fight. But the ultimates are here now for Hashira. Gonna be the window to start, but it's just absolutely out in the open. Minoru took a whole chunk of damage. All right, Gravitic Flux finds 3, including Asuka, who had that overclock ready to go. It's a great Flux up on that high ground. Narcoma knows exactly where this Dream Eaters team wants to position themselves. And just with 2 ultimates there, gonna be able to cap that now. Still holding on to this Deadeye and the Transcendence. The Transcendence gonna want to have that potentially for the sun that's coming in from Myro. We've seen that come through a couple of times. Synox finding the better of the Tracer. Deadeye here. Put some pressure on the point as well. Just kind of holding it. Not gonna find any damage there. Now it's the sun in response. The Transcendence is good. It keeps Minoru alive with a little help from that lamp as well. But Now you gotta deal with the Flux, the Lamp, and the Transcendence out. Midnight gonna fall here. Narcoma's so low as well. And yeah, Shiny's Dino gonna be able to up those kills. Oh, and it's a really good read from Dream Eaters there, right? You use the Sun, you get the Transcendence out, the Lamp out as well, so then you just hit the Flux, you find 3. There's nothing to stop those kills from coming through. Oh, 30 seconds on the clock here. There is going to be some swaps happening on the side of Hashira. Narcoma over on the Winston, Minoru over on Ana now. And Trick is actually going to move over onto the Symmetra as well. So sick and tired of all this poke damage, going to use the TP to essentially just avoid the poke damage. Somebody from Hashira is going to need to touch the point. Synox is taking a little bit of a duel. And does not get a foot on the point. Very unfortunate. As Dream Eaters going to go ahead and pick up the second map win here. And this is them winning on the map pick of Hashira. Narcoma with the play of the game though, feels pretty good. Nice little 3k up onto that high ground, but Hashira not able to find anything with their map pick, but they will have another opportunity as they are going where we go for this third map. A reminder also to everybody that it is a first to 4, so not at match just yet. Getting very close. We'll see what Hashira is going to take us to after a quick break.
Greetings!
Okay, Kaizen, welcome back. You are joining us mid T4 mixed finals. It is Hashira versus Dream Eaters. Dream Eaters currently up 2-0 as we head over to Circuit Royale for our escort map, selected, of course, by Hashira. And some fun bands here for the circuit map, of course. We are going to have the May band that came through first, followed by Zenyatta and Zarya, and then Widowmaker to close out here. So couple of DPS out of it, and that's going to make an impact here because, of course, Circuit Royale kind of known as, like, the map for DPS players is... Ooh, okay, Dream Eaters coming out on this Symmetra. Oh, sorry, we have swapped sides now. It is Hashira coming out on this Symmetra composition. Narcoma is the only one to take the TP. There we go. Trick gonna follow through, but actually creating a lot of space here. Dream Eaters just kind of rotating back. They have Asuka on this Freya though, so you're okay with giving a bit of space because you're gonna be able to do a lot of damage from far away. Connects on to Minoru and the map for the side of Hashira. Gone back to the spawn. Of course, that means Narcoma, unfortunately, going to fall very, very quickly after that. And fortunately for Hashira, this Symmetra composition trying to catch Dream Eaters a little bit off guard here. Doesn't quite work out for them, and see if they stick with this. Chinese Dino on the venture here, kind of lurking around, just waiting for this Hashira team to kind of walk forward. But okay, it's the TP actually into the room where Chinese Dino was kind of set up there. I like this from Hashira. You're avoiding a lot of poke damage by kind of just taking this hallway. But the next question is, where are you going after this, right? You're waiting for the TP here from Trick. Potentially going to look to TP onto this bridge. But meanwhile, I mean, Narcoma's just taking the brute force of damage from Q as, okay, here we go. Synox on the Cassidy finds that kill on a Chinese Dino. Hung around a little bit too long. Not done yet as Synox takes down Cheetos as well. And now Hashira finding their footing, moving forward here, going to take out Q late. Trying to maybe find a late kill onto Asuka or Myro, but it's not quite going to find it. Midnight Mare on the Lucio moving this payload forward. TP onto the high ground, very aggressive, allowing Synox again to find a dagger kill here, and Myro actually nearly built up to that window as well. Dream Eaters would love to have that available for this point. Okay, the contest at 0.01 meters. Chinese Dino on the venture. Has to stay on the point though, and yeah, is going to be forced out there. Nice window from Minoru. Like, breaking LOS of the payload. Basically the only way to live. Here we go. Hashira moving forward. More than 4 minutes here on this second point of circuit. Getting themselves set up pretty darn aggressively here. You have Trick on this Symmetra, so you really want to try and get a choke point. You have this wall ready to go. You're going to have the Deadeye from Synox as well. Winnow comes out from Myro, but it's actually onto the TP as everybody from Hashira just teleports right out of that. Flux connects onto Narcoma only. But the lamp is there to keep them alive. The Symbol committed as well. Maybe a little bit of panic there, but everybody from Hashira is going to push forward. Hashira trying to find a late kill. Gets punished for a Trick. Looking a little bit past Narcoma there. Big rock connects onto Synox, but hey, there's no rock now. It's time for the Deadeye. Finding that kill onto Myro. Q very, very split here on this. He's going to end up falling, and okay, Hashira, there we go. Second point captured. Again, more than 4 minutes on the clock here. Narcoma pushing forward, wants to find a stagger kill on a Chinese Dino. Has Synox there to help with that adventure. This is a big rotation here from Hashira, right? You just leave a couple of people on point. It's Trick moving the payload along. Everybody else rotating up to this high ground. You have the Annihilation from Narcoma. Q has moved over onto the Orisa now off of that Sigma. Bola in. Connects straight onto Narcoma. Does a good chunk of damage, but there's the Annihilation. No, it's not enough to keep them alive. And that is the Ramatra immediately shut down. The Annihilation out the window, and that means the Dream Eaters are just going to walk all the way forward here. You have the tank still alive. You're going to get control of this point. Synox on the Cassidy still lurking here, trying to find the kill onto Myro, but Myro putting up quite a fight! And has a bit of a spear for you to help as well. There we go. Dream Eaters get themselves set up on the high ground. Tectonic Shock and Beat ready to go already. Minoru holding on to the lone ult for the side of Hashira. And you are going to be able to build up to this Deadeye as well. Okay, it's an early window here. Actually prompts out the beat from Cheetos, which isn't enough to keep Chinese Dino alive. These TPs from Trick are actually really helping Hashira now. Really catching the Dream Eaters team kind of off guard, right? You see the window come in and you're anticipating that you're going to play against this window, but it's actually a TP in, and the window's kind of a bait. TP again onto the high ground, and the window comes out from Myro, but Narcoma just walks through it. Not gonna work out in the favor of Narcoma too well, and now everybody from Dream Eater is gonna be able to use that window as once again holding strong on this third point. Full support ultimates down. Asuka has swapped over on to the Sojourn now. Gonna be able to build up these railguns pretty quickly off of that Ramantra. Both DPS ultimates ready to go here for the side of Hashira. And okay, it is going to be Chinese Dino taking out Trick as soon as they came through that teleporter. Looking to get more aggressive here. Falling very low. He does manage to take out Midnight Mare though, so the speed now gone, and that means Narcoma is going to be taken down shortly after. Not able to rotate out of that one quickly enough. Another spear connects. I'm interested to see how is Hashira going to play with this Sim Wall and Deadeye. The Deadeye TP can be a deadly combo. Okay, it is the Sim Wall in, and then the TP up to the high ground. Okay, immediately met with the Tectonic Shock and the Terra Surge. Minoru falls. Chinese Dino, the only casualty on the side of Dream Eaters. And it was a quick play coming in there, but unfortunately, when everybody takes the teleporter, it is very telegraphed, and Chinese Dino had that Tectonic Shock just absolutely ready to go for that. Minute and a half on the board. Dream Eaters. Suka has built up to this overclock. It's going to be the window as well. Okay, I think we have a DC coming through as we have an auto pause that's happened. Now, the window was used immediately in response to this teleport that came in, and Dream Eaters are doing a good job of kind of responding to these teleporters quickly. You know, you fall for it once, and ever since then they have been absolutely on top of it, using the Tectonic Shock last time, window this time. However, Synox didn't take the teleporter for Hashira and is actually sitting in main right now. I believe Myro does still have this lamp available. And potentially a spear is headed towards Synox as well. But just having this DC on which is on the side of Dream Eaters here, Chinese Dino just connecting, it already is giving an advantage here to Hashira to try and win this one out. And you commit the window if you're Dream Eaters as well, which Asuka needs to kind of build up to this overclock. You really love Cheetos to be able to build up to the beat as well. Probably not going to be enough time in this fight to make that happen. But you just got to be thinking about the next fight, because I mean, the next fight is going to have 3 ultimates ready to go for the side of Hashira, including an Annihilation. So if Cheetos can kind of build up this beat fast enough, you might have that in response to that Annihilation that's going to come through. Last time you used the window to kind of cancel out that Annihilation, and yeah, we've committed that now. So ideally, you want to get a fight win off of this, but it's just not looking good numbers wise. Just for how split everybody is right now, it was really smart of Hashira to just send everybody except for Synox. Right, everybody turns and looks at this teleporter, and then there's a Deadeye from an angle. Now, are Hashira going to be able to finish this with time? I don't know. A minute and a half, you know, if you win this fight and then immediately start walking forward, maybe might be able to pull it off. Doesn't necessarily matter as much in these escort maps, but of course, you know, if you're going into potential overtime rounds, you want to have as much time as you can to work with. No chance of a draw. Well, I shouldn't say that. Very slim chance of a draw happening here. Circuit. These escort maps, of course, unless you're going to do a spawn hold, which, you know, I have seen it done on Circuit. It has happened before. But I don't think that that's necessarily going to be the case here. So you want to finish out the map here if you're Hashira. Have a little bit of extra time. Give yourself that cushion because so far this Dream Eaters team has been very, very challenging for Hashira. So you know that they're going to bring a lot of fight on the attack as well. We're just waiting to get a little update here, everybody. Thanks for hanging tight with us. Figure out how to get Chinese Dino back into this lobby. Yeah, and of course, I guess I'll give a little recap for everybody if you're just tuning in or, you missed the first couple of maps. This is actually a rematch here between these two teams. So, both of these teams were in the semifinals, in that upper bracket. And it was Dream Eaters taking a 4-0 victory against Hashira, sending Hashira down into the lower bracket. Now, in that lower bracket, Hashira did take a 4-1 victory over No Name Needed. So looked pretty strong there. Now, up against that team that sent you down, it's hard. It's hard. You're fighting kind of a mental battle as well as an actual in-game battle. And especially because those first two maps going Dream Eater's way pretty decisively. I mean, Oasis being our first map, of course. The control map going 2-0 the way of Dream Eaters. And that second one, Gardens was actually 100% to 0. So not even getting a flip on that second kind of sub map of control. Oh, it's a really rough start. And then going into the next map pick, and it was, Midtown. And that was Hashira's map pick, the first one that they got to pick. And yeah, unfortunately, not picking up that second point. It was a full cap from the side of Dream Eaters. So right now, I think that Hashira's got to feel pretty good about making it into the third point of circuit. But you got to have gas left in the tank because this is a first to 4, right? This is a best of 7. So there is an opportunity that this could go the entire distance. Not at match point yet, but we're getting close. You don't want to end up going down 3-0 because that is gonna mean winning back to back to back maps. And some of those maps, right? Those maps once you get towards the end are going to be maps that are picked by Dream Eaters. Right? And so far Dream Eaters is winning on maps that aren't even their map picks. It is a tough ask here for the side of Hashira, but it's not unwinnable. Especially where you've played against this team before. It's a nice thing about these rematches. It's you get a read for what they're gonna run, especially because we're in this new season, right? Season 18. There's been a lot of changes since we were doing the Swiss stage of Kaizen. Ramatra, kind of gone, but although Narcoma is pulling out the ram here. But yeah, this new season has brought so many changes to all the hero perks. And the new hero himself, Wu Yang, that we did get to see a little bit of. Quite briefly, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot more kind of flexibility in the meta compositions that are being run now. It's not a must-pick ram every single map. Thank goodness we get to see a few different tanks. I mean, even just in this series alone, we've seen the Wrecking Ball, which is definitely very, very strong right now. We've got to see the Zarya as well. Zarya hasn't really been a top contending tank for quite a while now. So nice to see her back into the rotation. Orisa, of course, in a very strong place. Maybe not a must pick, but definitely are able to run the horse if you are still cycling your cooldowns well enough. Yeah, it's nice that we get to see so much variety happening. We are a little update for everybody. We are paused. A disconnect on the side of Dream Eaters, actually. So it's not looking too great for them. They of course do have some pause time. It's a certain amount of pause time per series, I believe. So they just have to hope and pray that they don't get another DC because you are eating through all your pause time here on the third map. Oh, man, you'd hate to have to go out in grand finals off of a back of a so I do believe they do have the option to play it out once they run out of pause time. I mean, everybody else is here. You probably don't want to just give up the match for free, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a big struggle if they try and take down or take on Hashira with no DPS. Well, with just Asuka on the DPS. Chat is getting hungry. Match chat is getting hungry. For Orbeez, allegedly. Somebody better check on Trick, I think. Feel like that's probably not a good snack to have. Oh, well, thank you everybody for bearing with us through this pause. Unfortunately, for Dream Eaters, they are running out of time here. So we'll see. We'll see what their plan is. I'm gonna remind everybody, make sure you're checking out the channel points. We have a couple of channel rewards, although I have been informed today that we met our target goal to have Vic and Godly do a prod here for us. And that is going to be happening on the Kaizen After Dark. So make sure you stay tuned for all of that information. And thank you to everybody that's been contributing your channel points to try and make this happen. But yeah, there are some other fun ones in there. Greetings. You can get a nice little Winston greeting from the casters. And hey, if you have been saving up your points, there's even a caster accent swap. But you can always hold on to that, you know? You want to use all of those right away, but just keep it in mind that that is an option if you want to hear Finny talk in an American accent. Yeah, you can do that. All right, well, they have a few more here to try and get Chinese Dino back into this fight. Now, Chinese Dino has been doing a lot of work for the Dream Eaters team, so you know, not having them in, if you potentially go for this 4v5, that is a lot of pressure off. Doing a really great job on the Venture, but Chinese Dino was also doing a fantastic job on the Tracer, getting multiple kind of pulse bomb sticks, doing a really good job of kind of taking on Sinox on the Tracer as well. I think that those Tracer duels were maybe a little bit more favored towards Chinese Dino. Sinox definitely getting the better of them a handful of times, but especially because we're kind of into, I know I did say there's a lot of flexibility in this meta, and that is true, but the double flex DPS, the Genji Tracer, is a very, very good look, especially if you're on a map where you can Wrecking Ball, and there's just a whole bunch of map control and mobility, and having a really strong Tracer in a double flex DPS kind of meta, you really, really want to have that, because oftentimes it is the Tracer that's going to be kind of the one that's playing out on their own. So you want a Tracer that's going to be able to kind of handle themselves, be able to take those Tracer duels, and at least survive. Maybe you don't even have to get the win sometimes. It's just about taking the pressure off the supports. Because if you're dealing with the Tracer, that means that the Tracer is not in your backline, bothering your supports. So we will see what they're going to opt to do. But yeah, like I said, this is the grand finals, right? This is a first to 4. You're already up 2 maps here. If you're Dream Eaters. I've been pause time down. Ooh. Okay. All right. Well, playing it out. Gonna be a 4v5. I just don't know how I don't know how Dream Eaters is gonna make this work. But you know what? Shout out to them for making an attempt here. Hopefully they can get Chinese Dino back in. I guess you have a few maps to work with here if you don't win Circuit. Because if you don't win Circuit, that means at least you get a few more tries, reattempts. So All right, we're on pause here. Chinese Dino will join when Chinese Dino can join. Annihilation here on the high ground. Maybe a little bit of an overcommitment there, Narcoma. Maybe we'll want that back later. Everybody from the side of Dream Eaters regrouping towards the spawn. With only 4 people, it's more important than ever to not get staggered out. Window here, just as Dream Eaters are trying to push onto this high ground. A lot of respect being shown for it. Not a whole lot of poke happening. Q, waiting for that window to go down, but I mean, all the while the WBZ up here waiting. It's the payload moving forward. TP onto the back line there. Beat comes out from actually both teams. It is going to hit everybody on the field. The overclock from Asuka looking for something. Not going to find it though as Cheetos falls to Sinox on that Cassidy. Asuka does manage to find that one headshot onto Midnightmare, but it'll be the point. Capture here. 23 seconds on the clock. And now Dream Eaters are going to have to attempt an attack. We will see what they opt to do here. Having their players in, of course. Gonna be a little bit tricky. Now on the defense, we'll see if Hashira want to swap up. Maybe you move over onto the Sig here instead of the Ram for the defense. Maybe even move off the Lucio. Yeah, looking... Maybe not. But Minoru coming out on the BAP here. They have a little bit of time to decide what you're going to run here on this defense, but you got to decide fairly quickly because you do have quite a long walk down to this first corner. Okay, no, going to be sticking on this Ramatra composition. Lucio BAP as well. Trick actually going to stick on the Sim. So it's a very frontline heavy composition coming out here for Hashira. Trick on this Sim, I think, is going to be the make or break for this team. You need to be able to use these TPs to kind of kite out of danger quickly, and you need to stay alive long enough in these fights to really, really build up your beam. You need to get that damage up and running as quickly as possible. Now we have the Sigma composition on the attack here for Dream Eaters. Gonna have the double full X support backline once again. And it's gonna be hard to go up against this Ramatra composition. Down a DPS, it's gonna be really hard to force the Ram out. Nemesis form on the point from Narcoma. Okay, taking a whole lot of damage right away. The lamp and the teleporter there for the tank. And payload progress actually being gained here for Dream Eaters. Trying to rotate up onto this high ground. Doing a pretty good job actually just kind of staying alive here, but you need to find kills if you are Dream Eaters. Oh, and it's just not gonna happen as both supports are gonna end up falling. Myro and Cheetos stuck off on an angle. Sig falling as well. Oh, that is going to be Hashira holding strong here on the first corner. A little bit of payload progress there, but it's going to slide back pretty darn quickly. Window ready to go here for Minoru. Myro building up to that sun fairly quickly as well here. It's a quick window going to be held on the corner. Narcoma is going to be able to kind of push forward a little bit. Doesn't want to get too greedy though. Here's the sun. Myro coming over the top, trying to find something. No, actually isn't even going to be able to get the shot fired. Sinhogs taking down that Iari mid-flight. And now everybody else from Hashira just pushing forward. Not finding a late kill though as the Flux is going to come out and takes down Trick. Actually, it wasn't in that lamp that saved Minoru. And now it's an even fight here as some more payload progress being gained. A lot of respect here being shown by Hashira, right? They are absolutely just backing up basically at the second corner here. But now you're out in the open. All right, Asuka pulls this overclock. Deadeye, very valiant efforts. Sinox is going to be taken down by that. Asuka picks up a second one as well. Narcoma pops the Annihilation just to stay alive. No, actually he's going to fall. And the beat from Midnight Mare timed not quite right to keep the tank alive. And it's kind of falling apart here, actually, for Hashira. 2 ultimates into that lot. 3 ultimates into that kind of lost fight there. The window from Cheetos ready to go, and that's first point gonna be picked up here. Dream Eaters looking to move into second point now. Ooh, and starting second point off with a first pick. Inox falling. Now the barrier wall from Trick is ready to go here. Window committed first from Cheetos. Actually gonna be the window, the wall in the response to that. Kind of splits it in half. It's gonna be very, very hard from anybody from the side of Dream Eaters to use that. Gonna just back up. Just gonna play around the point. You wait out the wall, get your cooldowns, ready to go. You're gonna have the Flux and the Sun ready to go very shortly as well, so you really just need to play slow for those. But here's the window. Oh, the Flux, it connects onto 3 members. The lamp isn't there, the beat's not there, and that is going to be Minoru falling. Everybody else quite low on the side of Hashira. Narcoma pushed up very, very far, but just doesn't have any supports alive. He's gonna get punished for that. All right, Dream Eater's still pushing this payload forward. Managed to hold on to the Sun for Myro, and Duka's gonna have another overclock ready to go. Narcoma swapping over onto the Sigma now. Trying to match this. That shield from Q blocking off a lot of the healing that would be going towards Narcoma. All right, here's both ultimates that are available for Dream Eaters. Throwing both them in. Myro's holding it, looking, does connect. Is the damage gonna be done? There we go. Triggers the damage. Oh my gosh, it hit on the 3, but the lamp is good. Asuka finding the head of Trick just as they try to push in to contest this point. And Asuka taking out Sinox as well. Both DPS gone for the side of Hashira. It's just Narcoma on the point here for Hashira, and is going to end up following a little trickle in from Minoru, but okay, a payload has picked up second point. I mean, Dream Eaters moving into third point with 3 minutes to work with, and taking the space already. Q is so far pushed forward. This means that Hashira's not going to be able to get set up on this kind of forward high ground. That's where we saw Dream Eaters kind of set up on their defense. Very, very strong position. You're going to be able to kind of rotate to the next high ground, but it looks like Hashira's just going to opt for this second high ground. Car wash set up by Trick, but Asuka does manage to slide out of that. Be in, nice rock connects there. Window gonna be the first one here coming out. Cheetos using that, but hey, it's gonna be a window immediately in response for Minoru. Both lamps committed already as well. Trying to find some damage with these windows. Nightmare gonna commit the beat. Doesn't connect onto Trick, but just to stay alive despite that in the Symmetra. And everybody set up onto this high ground. That teleporter for Hashira really, really doing a lot of work. And there we go. Hashira's gonna find some stabilization here on the third point, and they're gonna be able to get themselves set up on that forward high ground. Leak kill on a Cheetos as well. And now all you can do if you're Dream Eaters is wait. You just need to wait to get your Baptiste back in here. You have the Flux doing a really good job, actually. Dream Eaters is cycling through their ultimates the best of their ability. Gonna have the Flux in the Sun. And the overclock. Fortunately, Asuka gets caught on an angle. Trick with the Symmetra is going to be able to punish any player that really kind of goes off on their own. The TP in, TP out. I mean, you even have Trick has the TP perk, so you're getting the extra shield gen. Very, very good for putting pressure onto flankers or anybody that gets split off from the Dream Eaters team. Sun ready to go. Myro walks in. It connects onto one. Kind of paying for it. But here we go. It's created the space. Actually found 2 there as we have Overclock and the Flux being committed here. Trick still alive and lurking around on the Symmetra. Did end up actually committing that wall there as well. Takes out Cheetos. They get sent back to the spawn. Some progress on the cart now here for Dream Eaters. They really got stalled out there. Less than a minute. Try and complete this map. Oh, and it's gonna be the Flux right away. Nice rock! Q actually canceling that flux. I think it had 3 members of Dream Eaters in it. Really, really well played from the tank. 30 seconds on the clock. Synox wants to close this out here and now. The overclock being committed. Finds the kill onto Cheetos, and that was the only ultimate on the field here for Dream Eaters. Oh, Trick still alive on this Symmetra, but... Oh no, sorry, that team kill coming through. I mean, yeah. It doesn't look like anybody from Dream Eaters is going to be able to touch. Asuka swaps over onto the Tracer, but yeah, recall is forced out right away, and unfortunate for Dream Eaters. Yeah, lose 1 member, and yeah, the 4v5 just a little bit too tricky. You're gonna have Synox picking up the play of the game here. I have to say, Hashira did look better on circuit, and not just because it was a 5v4, but actually I did look like Hashira kind of finding their footing on this poke composition. A little bit better of a time here, but now we are going to get to see the map pick from the side of Dream Eaters for the first time in this series, so we will be back with map 4 after a quick break.
And they say chivalry is dead.
Okay, guys, and welcome back. Here we are, map 4, and very good news for any of you Dream Eater fans out there. Chinese Dino is back in the lobby. No more 4v5. We're gonna have a fair fight here on Runasapi, and this map is, of course, Dream Eater's map pick, since they did not win out on circuit. Now, the bans are in for these two teams as well. It's the Orisa ban coming out first. Tracer and Lucio in response. Cassidy to round things out here. So the Tracer and the Cassidy being banned. Lucio once again getting hit with that ban as well. All right, on the side of Hashira, it is going to be this Wrecking Ball. Midnight back over on the Wu Yang as well. Trick still on the sim here. An interesting pick for Runasapi. Some really, really long sight lines on this map. So we'll see how they're going to use this teleporter to kind of negate those. Pile drive in does connect onto Chinese Dino, but it's this hazard composition that's coming in for the side of Dream Eaters. Maybe a good read on what they were anticipating to see, expecting the Wrecking Ball. Going to roll out on this Brig Ana. A pretty strong backline, a lot of CC available, but it is the bot taken by Hashira to start things out. Shippy on this Reaper is going to be able to get away from these dives fairly flawlessly, that Wraith form. Trick on the sim, falling very, very low. Does get the Suzu to help with that. And now, I mean, the bot is just absolutely flipped over as he's going to be Dream Eaters in control. Nobody has died just yet. A lot of kind of rotations happening around this. Both teams doing a good job kind of steering clear of each other, but there we go. Trick not going to be able to get back to that teleporter in time. Gonna be first blood going the way of Dream Eater. Shippy on the Reaper, very, very low. Has the support from Minoru and Knight. Just a regroup coming through here for Hashira. Trick is gonna be able to get back into this fight fairly quickly. That Symmetra has the teleporter, of course. Now, the lead very firmly controlled by Dream Eaters. Here's the pile drive in from Narcoma. Does get hit with that anti-nade, but no CC to kind of follow through on that. Finding an angle here. The nano for Myro already ready to go, but Q in the front line is not really getting any support here. Everybody turning and looking at this Wrecking Ball, and there it is going to be the rally coming out from Cheetos. Response to this Kitsune rush from Minoru, but everybody from the side of Dream Eaters basically just kites out of it. Tidal Blast, Nightmare uses onto themselves. Gonna help them stay alive through that downpour that came in from you, but not gonna save you from the overclock of Asuka. Very nice stuff from the Sojourn on the side of Dream Eaters, and now the bot. Once again, control here. Good amount of progress is gonna be able to be made off of this. Everybody from the side of Hashira just kind of dying at the same time. So you're not really going to be able to get back in for these stagger touches. Now you do have the wall and the mines ready to go. Going to be the wall first. Coming in. Narcoma going for a really, really deep dive. Not going to stop the spawn from coming through there. Checkpoint picked up. Nice job from Narcoma to recognize how split Asuka became from the rest of Dream Eaters. And here we go. Bot walking back towards this center point. Forward spawn still collected by Dream Eaters here, which means Asuka will be back into the fight quickly on the Sojourn. Blade from Chinese Dino ready to go, but the backline for the side of Dream Eaters really zoned out by these mines. Be able to pressure Chinese Dino, actually gonna get knocked off the edge there, not able to get that climb back up. Shippy, okay! Yeah, the Blossom does come out, but unfortunately, there's just nobody around for it really to connect onto, and Asuka's gonna take down that Reaper. Still some scrappy back and forths happening here. But with the Myro and Cheetos both gone, it's gonna be tough here for Dream Eaters to stay alive in this fight. Ooh, Asuka making it happen, though. Getting that kill, and despite not having any supports, it is a Dream Eaters that's gonna start moving this bot forward. All that time, forward spawn still activated. So Myro and Cheetos don't even have that far of a walk to go. Blade ready to go here for Chinese Dino. Now, nothing really to respond to this. Trick has swapped over onto the Soldier 76. Nice to have that mobility and kind of able to take care of yourself. But yeah, Chinese Dino on this is definitely going to punish you if you find yourself too split. Now it is a nice little regroup happening here for Dream Eaters. Everybody staging towards this coast side. Asuka gonna be able to find that kill onto Shippy, and now, I mean, Q has put themselves into a pretty small room here, but against the Wrecking Ball, you're gonna feel pretty okay about that as the hazard. Again, Trick up on this high ground, gets pressured out. Chinese Dino just has this Soldier 76 number, not allowing Trick to get set up for free at any point in time, and now 5 ultimates here for Dream Eaters to work with. I mean, Chinese Dino has had this blade for a pretty long time now. It is going to be the Tidal Blast onto Narcoma, rolling into the backline. The stun only connects onto Cheetos, which just has the rally to respond with immediately. Blade comes out here from Chinese Dino. Goodbye support line for Hashira, and still all the while, bot moving forward. 2 ultimates still to work with on the side of Dream Eaters. Narcoma is building up to these mines very, very soon. This is going to be a good spot to kind of use them up on this, just as the bot is pushing up this hill. Trick has moved back over onto the Sim. Shippy gonna pull out a Sombra here to try shut down this hazard or this Genji. Mines are out. The pack comes through on a Chinese Dino, but the support is there. I mean, you get the pack from Cheetos and you get a nice little heal dart from the side of Myro. Now it's the re-engagement coming through from Dream Eaters. It's the downpour. Doesn't actually find anything, but it does allow some space here for Asuka on this Sojourn. Not any final blows with that overclock, but we'll find a kill onto Minoru. Again, trades back and forth, but Hashira is in control of the bot, at least for now. You don't have a tank alive to try and hold onto this, and Q taking down Trick, splits out that Symmetra. Looking for more. Yeah, gonna find Midnight and a nice sleep dart onto Shippy. Just fodder at this point, and oh my goodness, back in control. Dream Eaters walking this bot. Ooh, nearly up to the Nano to work with. See more swaps kind of coming through on the side of Hashira. They're trying to find an answer to this composition. It's going to be Narcoma on the Winston to try and make it happen. Needs to jump out. Yeah, I like that. Not taking a fight against the hazard as the Winston. Gotta try and find Asuka on this Sojourn. Does see Asuka, gets a nice hack onto them as well, but oh my gosh, I mean, the support line, Myro and Cheetos, keeping them alive at least for a little bit. Yes, for the side of Hashira, will manage to find Asuka and Chinese Dino in the end. Here we go, it's Hashira back in control of the bot again, but haven't been able to kind of win these back-to-back fights. They haven't even been able to kind of deny this forward spawn. All right, well, it's gonna be the wall coming in. An aggressive dive from Narcoma trying to catch out Asuka. Needs to give Shippy a little time to set up. EMP comes through and it only connects on to Asuka, which means that all of those support utility are able to, well, okay. I was gonna say keep them alive, but no. It is a lot of persistence coming through from Hashira. Suzu on to Minoru will keep the Kiriko from being rooted into the ground, and that's a pretty good second fight win here for the side of Hashira. Support ultimates are ready to go. Definitely hoping to see this Kitsune rush first in these fights. 2 minutes. It's going to be the Tidal Blast on to Narcoma. Stuns out Q and prompts a very aggressive, or a very big rally there. Does end up taking down the tank, but the break will fall in response. Now it's the Blade, all hacked up. Not able to find anything with it as okay, Midnight gonna find that kill onto Q, and that means forward spawn here. Picked up for Hashira. Finally some progress being made on this bot. A nice little late kill there onto Myro as well. Allows Narcoma to get back into this fight. The Winston has this Primal Rage ready to go. Narcoma's gonna be able to play quite aggressive in this next fight. Asuka has this overclock ready to go. Now you have to be careful if you're Narcoma because you don't want to use your Primal Rage and then just ignore the Sojourn because that's going to allow all the space in the world for the Sojourn to work with to take down the heads of the backline. And here we go, overclock in, and Narcoma's going to dive into the backline, but now that's exactly it. Asuka just ignoring the Winston. Finds a 3K. And despite having this Primal Rage, Narcoma's just not going to be able to win the fight for the team. Really good read there from Asuka. As the team kill comes through for the side of Dream Eaters. Gonna deny this forward spawn too, so Narcoma Gonna have that late spawn. You're not gonna have your tank for this actual fight. A lot of progress being walked back towards. Gonna be able to potentially pick up this forward spawn as well. Yep, we'll go ahead and pick that up for Dream Eaters. Trick has the sim wall ready to go. But yeah, we just see the disengage. I mean, Dream Eaters just gonna back all the way out, take a fight wherever they want. You're just waiting for overtime at this point because you just have to win one fight. Don't have any ults to try and make that happen. Q has swapped over onto the Wrecking Ball off of that hazard. And there's the Symmetra wall from the side of Hashira. Overtime has triggered, so of course, Hashira need to keep somebody on this bot. Trades coming through, and now we have the Tidal Blast ready to go actually onto the sleeping Narcoma. The Tidal Blast doesn't end up stunning anybody, but it does help keep Narcoma alive in this fight. Well, Asuka on an angle here. It's a group coming through for Dream Eaters. This is really rough. You only have 2 people on the bot here for the side of Hashira, and you have to keep someone on it. We see that Midnight has kind of given that over to Narcoma on this Winston, who's going to have to stay on the point, but you don't have the Primal to work with. A Rally and Mines ready to go is going to be the Mines coming out first. There's the EMP. It does connect onto 2, but Hashira needs to find these kills. You need to find something from that EMP, and you're just not able to do it. Nano over onto Chinese Dino, who's going to have that blade, and that is going to be Runezapi going the way of the Dream Eaters. Dream Eaters putting themselves at a match point here with this 3rd map win. Asuka on the Sojourn, absolutely damaging to the side of Hashira. Yeah, really nice overclock. All right, I mean, a little bit of a fight coming back there from Hashira at the end, but unfortunately not enough to find that map win, and now facing a loss here. Hashira's gonna have to regroup, figure out where we're going to for this 5th and potential final map. We will see you all after a quick Okay, Kaizen, this could be it. We are on map 5 here of your T4 Mixed Finals. Currently, it is Dream Eaters up 3-1 against Hashira, and our final map, if you're a Dream Eaters fan, you're hoping it is going to be Suravasa. So Hashira taking us over to Suravasa, the Flashpoint map, trying not a reverse sweep, but trying to at least get a win on the board. If you're Hashira, the bands coming through as well, of course. So we again had a Junker Queen band come through, which, you know, we were maybe laughing a little bit about. We haven't seen any Junker Queen, but hey, we're still not going to see any Junker Queen. I did mention at the start that Junker Queen, if we saw her, probably going to be on a Flashpoint map. So taking that away, Sin and Wuyang. So talk about a targeted ban coming out from the side of Dream Eaters. Midnight and Trick getting targeted out there a little bit, and then finally the Genji ban coming through. All right, well, Suravasa, we are all ready to go here on Market. We are going to have Hashira on this Hazard composition. This is Kiriko backlines for both teams. We are, of course, going to have a Tracer on both. It's difference being here. Shippy is going to be over on the Sombra. Versus Asuka still over on that Sojourn. Slam in from Q. Ooh, nice little railgun there from Asuka. Gonna open things up out of Midnight, and take out Minoru as well. The support line crumbling here for the side of Hashira. That means that Narcoma is going to be falling very, very shortly after that. And point contest is coming through here, but it's just Trick alive, trying to keep things together. There we go. Flip comes through, and that is going to be Dream Eaters starting to build percentage here. It's going to be a swap coming through for Dream Eaters as well. Narcoma gonna move on to a Wrecking Ball of their own off of that Hazard. Now playing the Sombra in, ooh, unfortunately Minoru sent back to spawn. But yeah, playing this Sombra, you really want to play a little bit more defensively. You want to try and shut down Q, but I mean, Q knows that's exactly what you want to do, so you're gonna take that Sombra out of the fight. And oh, the fight's still going on here. Trick does commit the Pulse Bomb, doesn't connect, but all the while this long extended fight is really just gonna favor Dream Eaters here as they find another late kill on the Midnight. Hashira really need to regroup here. This percentage building very, very quickly here on Market. Dream Eaters are going to have the mines, gonna have the rush, gonna have pretty much everything actually really to work with here. It's just that overclock from Asuka that's lagging a little bit. Tiny Dino finds Shippy, the Sombra gone, the Tracer gone as well. The DPS no longer here for Hashira, and 90% looking like no time through. That is first point of Suravasa picked up here by Dream Eaters. A quick little run over to Palace here for the next one. Dream Eaters going to be able to get themselves set up first on this high ground. 5 ultimates to work with here. It's just a matter of which one do you want to use first. These mines from Q could be detrimental. Again, be getting taken down on the Sombra. Really not allowing any space for this Sombra to work for the side of Hashira. Kills coming through, and you know, it's still a little bit of a fight being put up by Hashira here on the high ground, but it's all for naught. Flashpoint has unlocked. And once again, it is going to be Dream Eaters getting the point flip first. Didn't have to use any ultimates in that fight either. You just find the opening pick and you flood forward. Ults are coming online here for Hashira. Including Kitsune Rush. Probably going to see that kind of match the Kitsune Rush from Myro. Just to see how these mines are going to be used. There we go. Narcoma's going to go first with the mines, but Q has the pile drive. Is able to delete at least a few of them. Asuka on the high ground. Ooh, okay. Gets hit with the EMP and a Pulse Bomb. Myro also getting hit with the EMP, but did not end up falling to that. And okay, there's the point flip coming over for Hashira, but Myro has this Kitsune Rush. Can use it towards the point here. But somebody's got to actually get on the point. There we go. A little bit of a contest being put on by a Chinese Dino. The flip doesn't come through, though, and that's going to allow time for Minoru to use a Kitsune Rush as well. Mines from Q trying to shut down the space here taken by that Kitsune Rush, and is going to be able to do a whole lot of damage. Chippy as well, and there is the flip coming back through for the side of Drew. Drew actually will be able to TP out. Taking down Cheetos, though, so the support are actually gone for Eaters right now. So if you're Hashira and you move really quickly, you might be able to flip this back over. Narcoma has moved over onto the Diva. Diva in a pretty good place right now. Whoa. But you gotta build up to that major perk to really have an impact. Narcoma falling quite low already is actually nearly demec'd. Really big beat there from Midnightmare. It's on a 4, but it's not enough to actually keep Narcoma in the suit in the end. Overtime has triggered. Now, if you're Hashira, you have to stay on this point, but it's just an almost impossible task here. Q on this Wrecking Ball has just been running this Hashira over. And there is a team kill coming through. Palace picked up. We are now on map and point. As we head over to Garden, something has to change here for Hashira, and Narcoma's gonna try to change off the tank. Move over on to the Winston, should be over onto the Cassidy as well. Had a hard time, I think, on that Sombra, really kind of finding the targets that you really wanted to. You weren't really able to get a hack onto Q on this ball. Pulse Bomb connects on a Narcoma. Oh my gosh, and the follow-up is just absolutely there. Q did end up taking that perk that actually does extra damage to the tanks when you roll through them. So unfortunately for Narcoma, just absolutely getting bursted down there after taking a big chunk of damage from that Pulse Bomb. Point has unlocked, and the flip is going to start here for Dream Eaters. Q lurking on this Wrecking Ball. The mine's ready to go. Begins through, gets a little bit of damage onto Narcoma. Has to be careful now as this Wrecking Ball, because the Cassidy is going to be able to shut you down much quicker than the Sombra could have. Oh my gosh, the pile drive in. Narcoma finds back to the spawn, and then it's the overclock from Asuka. Just the 1-2 punch here. Dream Eaters absolutely looking to clean up this map, take this series, and claim for mixed championship, but 50% here. There is a chance for Hashira to fight back. You have the Pulse Bomb. This rush as well. Now, Myro will have the Kitsune Rush to answer with, and it's a good read from Dream Eaters here, recognizing that the rotation is coming through. Everybody from the side of Hashira, except for Trick, kind of pushing through this stairway, and now it's a Kitsune Rush for Dream Eaters onto the point, and I mean, it's just timed so well, right? Narcoma commits in, Kitsune comes out, you burst them down. Midnight did manage to take out Asuka, but there's mines all over the point here. It's gonna be so hard to get the contest in. Minoru, the Kitsune Rush, trying to do something to keep Hashira in this series, but it's just not enough. The hits from the side of new Dream Eaters just too strong. Pulse Bomb connects once again onto Narcoma. Overtime ticking down. Nobody else going to be able to touch, and that is it. Surabasa going the way of Dream Eaters, and this series going the way of Dream Eaters, who are our T4 mixed champions. Fantastic game from this team, winning out 4-1. Doing a really great job kind of playing to the strengths of their compositions, right? When we see this Wrecking Ball composition, we're seeing the fast hits come in, we're seeing Asuka take space, do the damage. Really well played. Nice try, though, from Hashira, who is going to be, second place here. Runner-up to the T4 Mixed Championship. Maybe doesn't feel quite as great, but hey, it was a long distance to get here. So shout out to Hashira for putting up a nice fight, getting their one map against Dream Eaters. Small feat. All right, I think that we are potentially going to be doing an interview. We will. Oh, actually, I've been corrected. We're not doing an interview because we don't have the perms for that. But shout out to Dream Eaters once again. Congratulations. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for this T4 Mixed Finals. Fantastic end to a fantastic season. But there will be some more finals coverage, so keep an eye on the server for that. But this is it for tonight. So thank you so much, and we will see you next time. Okay, Kaizen. Well, I baited you all. We do have the perms for an interview, so we have somebody from the winning side of Dream Eaters here. I'm joined by Myro. Myro, hello and congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Awesome. So Myro, of course, was the flex support for the side of Dream Eater. So one of the things I wanted to ask, because of course there's been a new hero that has been added here in the Wuyang for season 18. Didn't necessarily get to see a whole lot of that out of Dream Eaters, but is this something that you guys have been experimenting with? Obviously, the season is done now, but is this a hero that you think is having kind of an impact on the compositions that you've been running?
Yeah, in scrims we exclusively play Wuyang,
Ah.
but our Wuyang we have our new Wuyang player and rosters are locked, so we can't really.
Mm.
So it's me, and I haven't had a chance to play him because I've been in the hospital most of the time. So I just stick to my old heroes. I'm an old man, can't learn anything new.
Oh, I get it for real. I do. Well, I mean, hey, what you were running with definitely worked really well. Obviously, circuit probably a little bit stressful for the team. How did you kind of pull back together on the next map once you had Chinese Dino back in?
Well, once we knew that we could play again, like with full team, it was kind of, everyone was like, okay, last map we just forget about it. It's a bit Mickey Mouse, but then yeah.
Oh, just a bump in the road. Good recovery. Going forward for the team, I mean, this is obviously the end of the Kaizen season, but are there any plans for the team moving forward?
Well, we're playing in Face It right now, and playoffs are coming up soon, so that's where we're gonna be focusing the most.
Right.
And then yeah,
Very
I
exciting.
don't know about the next season of Kaizen.
Mm.
Depends on the tiers because like
Mm.
most of our roster, like we were already playing mostly on off rolls, and most of our roster is not able to play because of their ranks. I think
Mm.
most people are now hitting champ, so it's a bit rough.
Mm. Yep, that's fair. Yeah, especially getting that Face It experience in, you're going to be able to get a whole lot better really, really quickly. All right, well, that is it for me, but I'm going to open up the floor here for you, Myro. If you have any shout outs that you want to do, it's all yours.
Shout out to Starty and Varied for filling for us every match this season. Shout out to Wild Boys, and yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, you heard it here, everybody. Thank you so much once again to Myro for joining us, and congratulations. And Kaizen, again, thank you for showing up and supporting the stream, checking out the T4 mixed finals. Don't forget to check the server to see what match is going to be covered next on stream. I've been Rain. It's been Solaire controlling the stream. We had WM with a small appearance at the beginning as well. So thank you all to the production staff, and have a great night, guys, and we'll see you next time.